Alright, rather than just having a unboxing video of the Tascam Model 12, I decided to just kind of talk over it in the background so you can see me opening up and see what's inside. I just wanted to talk about the mixer, and as an audio phase, as a DAW controller, it's basically a Swiss Army knife of mixers and audio interfaces. Funny thing though, when I first got it, I opened the box and saw it said production suit on it, and it's kept me laughing throughout this video. First of all, I did not want to spend the money on this thing because I had audio interfaces here, but I kind of wanted to condense it all into one. I had the Tascam 16x8, which I sold on Reverb. Love that thing. I've used it live, used it in the studio, but all the inputs were on the back of the rack mount, and I had it on a rack mount on my desk. So I ran that into my mixer, the Behringer 1204 USB. Worked great for years, but like so many scenarios, I wound up using just like a Zoom H5 or something to get in and out of the iPad. So I wanted something that could just go from iPad to Mac, record on like an old Porta Studio. So this thing checked all the boxes. Now it was expensive, so I decided to enter a contest and would do it every day, and just never won. So I decided to pull the trigger, and found $100 off at B&H a while back last year, and so I just bought it and then sold everything else later on. Now the problem with that was I did get it and it was damaged. I had a potentiometer on the top row, an EQ that was bent, so I had to send it back to B&H, but they were great about it. They sent me a new one, and if you use their I'm not promoting them or anything, but if you use their card, you get the tax off of it. So not only did I save $100, but I didn't have to pay tax. And once they found it to be a faulty unit, they sent me a new one. Or, well, they already sent me the new one. I had to buy two, technically, on the card, but I got reimbursed. I was waiting for this thing every day, running downstairs. Every time there was a UPS, FedEx, anything, ringing our doorbell, I would just run down, and so many times I'd take the camera with me to do like an unboxing or like a, wow, it's here, it's finally here, the moment's here. So actually by the time I got this thing, I was super excited, but I had completely lost all my motivation to record and use it, just because I was so cautious in deciding if I needed to put insurance on it. Was it not made well? Like, it was just a chance thing that's probably the FedEx or UPS guy dropped it, and it bent it because the box was in shitty shape when I got it, so it definitely was in travel. The thing's a tank. I have no problems with it. I was a little weirded out by the power screw-in thing, as you see in the video. Thought I might bump that and break it, but it's actually really tight and really secure, and it kind of goes away from the mixer. It's not like a regular wall wart where it can bend on the end, so it's really nice. This is by far the best mixer I've ever owned. I really loved the Behringer and recorded on it all the time, but you had to like either put a thumb drive in the back, and sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. You could plug a hard drive in, same thing. It wasn't always 100%. As an audio interface, it worked great, but it didn't check all the boxes. The Tascam Model 12 does. I lost 2 channels in switching mixers, but I mean, it's got 10 inputs. It's more than enough for me. This is by far the best recorder I've had too. It sounds amazing. You could just record each track, and there's so many different ways you could set this up. It's crazy. It's like, it fits me to a T, because I like doing weird setups, as I've said in other videos. So I've done it where I've had like 5 or 6 inputs into the mixer that go into a DAW, out USB, and then back through, after going through effects on like an iPad or Mac, it goes back into the mixer, and I could control it, the volume on the mixer. It was a little crazy when I first got it with the soloing, and because it has a after fader button and a pre-fader button, so when you press that, sometimes you lose audio in the headphones because it just goes to the main outs. That gets a little confusing in the beginning. It makes sense though once you figure it out, but it's kind of like you lose the solo buttons by this. Yeah, this thing worked instantly in Logic. I just plugged the USB-C to A cable into my Mac, because I have an older Mac, and it worked instantly. Just set it to Logic, open Logic, and everything worked. All the faders, the pans, as a DAW controller, amazing. I have contacted Cubasis, Steinberg, and Tascam about the iPad, and they both got back to me. MIDI learners on the horizon and should be happening soon for Cubasis 3. And Tascam said they're not going to implement anything at the moment with MIDI learn or DAW control on iOS. I think they're kind of leaving it up to the companies, which makes more sense because it already does work on Aria Pro, which I found out recently and is amazing. So now I have options. I could, put stems in Cubasis for now on iPad, or I could use Aria Pro and have it as a DAW control. But that's one thing too, you cannot use the DAW control and the mixer at the same time. So either you're using it as an audio interface, you're using it as a DAW controller. This could be wrong, but this is the way it's worked for me, where I had to choose one. But I can use it as a recorder and an audio interface at the same time. I don't know if that's a trick, but it has worked for me. So yeah, that's just my first initial take on this mixer, and I plan on doing more videos about it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you don't mind.